Good morning, all. Great leaders don't set out to be a good leader. They set out to make a difference. It is never about the review. It is always about the goal. A warm welcome to everyone present here.
Good morning to one and all present here. I would like to welcome our resource person, Dr. J. Soundarraj. It's a proud privilege to welcome you, sir. Obey God's law first before considering the laws of man. A warm welcome to our Reverend Father Philip Pulipara for this wonderful occasion. The influence of a great principle can never be erased. I welcome our beloved principal, Dr. M. Sivarajan, for this webinar. A great vice principal builds character, inspires dreams, encourages creativity, builds confidence, instills a love of learning, touches our hearts, and changes our lives forever. I welcome our Vice Principal of Shift 1, Mrs. V. Savitri, and Mrs. K. Subhashni, Vice Principal Shift 2, for this valuable event. A true leader has the confidence to stand alone, the courage to make tough decisions, and the compassion to listen to the needs of others. I welcome our department head, Professor Lavanya Devi. So, a good teacher always makes you to do something a little bit more than you thought that you could do. By the way, I welcome our lovable teachers for this moment. Every student can learn, just not on the same day or the same day. I proudly welcome our students, friends to this wonderful moment. Thank you.
Thank you, Roshan, for your warm welcome. The courage of a soldier is heightened by his knowledge of his profession. It is a great honor for me to welcome Ms. Lavanya Devi, Head of the Department of Segmentation, to introduce her guest.
Good morning to one and all present here. It's my great pleasure and honor to introduce our chief guest, Dr. J. Soundarraj is an assistant professor in the postgraduate Department of Commerce at MA Government Arts College, Tindigal, Tamil Nadu. He has 24 years of experience in teaching field. He is pertinent to note that taught UG for 24 years and PG for 19 years, including 2.5 years of overseas teaching experience in Australian perspectives. His PhD thesis, bearing the title Developing Financial and Cash Flow Ratios Models of Select Private Sector Companies in India. It's highly commendable and still relevant in the existing scenario. He has published 26 publications in both national and international journals. His area of specialization in teaching include accounting, marketing, and corporate finance. He has visited Singapore and New Jersey for academic-oriented program and has received Research Award from College and Teaching Excellence Award from Institute of Business Studies, New Jersey. He was resource person in 10 international conferences, workshops, training, and seminars conducted by various reputed institutions and organized 8 seminars and conferences in the national and international level. He has conducted a program on e-quiz which has attracted more than 900 participants from various institutions around the country, and he has participated in more than 200 offline and online seminars, FDP, and conferences. Sir guided more than 300 students for the PG project and 3 students for MPhil dissertation through SWIM courses. He has served as an adjunct faculty in institutions namely LIBA, Loyola Institution, International Academic Collaboration, Pondicherry University, and Loyola College Spinning Program, Live, and DG Vaishnava Institute of Management Studies. He runs his channel named Dr. JJS Virtual Academy of Commerce on YouTube for academic purpose. Recent videos of his lecture are made available in this channel. A perfectionist by nature who executed a good number of administrative responsibilities like placement of Department of Commerce, Loyola College, Chennai, Vice President of Loyola College, Teaching Staff Assistant, and Coordinator for various clubs with his perfection. Thank you, one and all.
Reverend Father Philip Plipra, the Secretary, Dr. M. Sivarajan, the Principal, Ms. Lavanya Devi, the Head of the Department of Corporate Secretaryship, organizing committee members of this webinar, my beloved Thomas Bro, who is also the HOD of Visual Communication of Mark Gregorius College of Arts and Science, Chennai, and my dear participants. Good morning, all of you. At the outset, I wish to thank the organizers for the nice introduction about me and for having given me the opportunity to be the resource person for this webinar. The topic we have chosen for the webinar is design thinking and leadership. The presentation plan includes the introduction about the topic. I will explain the meaning of design thinking. That's a core aspect of the webinar. Followed by, I'll take you through the process of design thinking, principles of design thinking, then why is design thinking important for a leader. Followed by, I will detail the skills for developing a design thinking leader. Then eventually, I will conclude my presentation. Now let me take you through the introduction for the topic design thinking and leadership. The formula for the success of leadership has changed drastically in today's competitive and dynamic marketplace. Paternalistic decision making and bureaucratic red tape are things of the past. Millennial and Gen Z employees or people want leaders who empower them to make choices and overcome obstacles while providing the training and mentoring necessary to achieve great things. Design thinking is the best way to develop such leadership skills. Whether we like it or not, the leaders who excel in today's workplace, looking nothing like the bosses of the days of yore. They need to be nurturing, inducive, and empathetic to the needs of the employees or their followers. Now, who really thought of design thinking for the first time? Larry Leifer, the founding director of Stanford Center for Research, is the inventor of design thinking. However, IDEO, a global design company, takes a credit of inventing the term design thinking. It's because the concern from its inception started practicing the human-centered approach, which is a core value of design thinking. So design thinking basically rotates around the human-centered approach. Since this company started practicing such an approach, the company takes the credit of using design thinking from the very beginning. So when people pronounce the term design thinking, they think of IDEO. Perhaps they forget Larry Leifer, who really suggested this particular concept for the first time. You have likely heard the proverb, give someone a fish and they will have food for a day. If you teach someone to fish, they will have food for life. And that exactly applies to design thinking as well. What is design thinking? Design thinking believes and has been proven that the people who face problems are the ones who hold the key to their problems answer as well. It's very beautifully said. If you have a problem, obviously you are likely to have the key to solve the problem or key to identify the solution to solve the problem. And that's a reality. This is what the basic foundation for the concept design thinking. So when you see people who face problems, you make them to understand that they are the ones who have the keys to their problems answer as well. Now, according to Tim Brown, Executive Chair of IDEO, as I said, this is the first concern which started practicing design thinking from 1978. He says, design thinking is a human-centered approach to innovation that draws from the designer's toolkit to integrate the needs of the people. That's very important. Integrate the needs of the people, that's given first priority. With what? The possibilities of technology and requirements for business success. So, three aspects are considered here, but obviously with a human-centered approach. towards innovation. What are the three aspects considered? And which aspect is given more priority with regard to design thinking according to Tim Brown? Needs of the people, needs of the customers, needs of the employees or the followers, whose problems are going to be solved, or for whose problems we are going to come out with a solution, they should be given first priority. So the needs of the people who are affected or whose problems are going to be solved should be connected with the possibilities of technology. Therefore, we need to come out with a solution to the problems of the followers or the people concerned, making use of the technology and obviously considering the requirements for business success as well. See, obviously I used to say there are 3 P's which will give sustainable development for any business enterprise. Number 1, people. People who are working in your organization and people who are outside. Those who are working in your organization could be named as internal customers. And those who come to buy your market offerings, they are external customers. These 2 group of people are named to be people here. The second one is planet. It is a responsibility of every business enterprise to take care of the planet. You as a business enterprise do not have any right to exploit the planet in the name of serving your customers. And believe that your customer is also one of the members in the society and whose responsibility is to take care of the planet, because that's the most beautiful gift we will leave to the next generation. And the third P stands for profit. Profit is not a dirty word for any business which involves in commercial purpose. And therefore, here the third priority in design thinking is given to profit. That's what business success. Without making profit, a business cannot sustain for a long time. It could be made possible for a couple of years to run the business even if it incurs loss. But in the long span of time, it is really mandatory for every business to make profit. And these 3 aspects are to be interconnected, and the interconnection or the way to connect between these 3 is derived from the designer's toolkit. The designer could be the leader, the manager, the boss, and that's what we are talking about. And that's what we could also understand from what is said by Tim Brown for the concept design thinking. Design thinking approach brings together what is desirable from a human point of view. That is more important. More than profit, more than how we are going to make use of the technology, the desirable human approach is more important, and it should be the first priority when we go to follow design thinking. See, the human point of view could be merged with what is technologically feasible and what is economically viable. So, among the 3, the first priority should be given for human-centered approach, and followed by we can make use of the technology to check whether the design, the solution, what we bring out for solving the problems of our followers, our customers is feasible technologically, and to ensure that it is economically viable for the business organization. And that's the idea you learn from design thinking approach. Design thinking relies on observing with empathy. That's a beautiful term, empathy. What is that empathy? I listen to your problems from your perspective. That's very beautiful. Not in my perspective. When I listen to your problems, your explanation, I should understand your explanation. I should understand you in your perspective. I understand the problem as you want me to understand it. That's what, exactly the meaning of empathy. It is not like, many of the business managers, and they ask the subordinates to explain something, but they don't bother about what is that being explained by the subordinates. It's because of the ego, that comes out of hierarchy. That we happen to see in Indian environment mostly. That's really unfortunate. Then, Design thinking relies on how people interact with their environments and employs an iterative, hands-on approach to creating innovative solutions. So, with empathy, you understand the people whose problems are going to be solved with your solution. You prompt them to come out with the real background or idea behind the problem. Then you try to define the problem properly. If you understand the problem, and definitely it is half solved. That's the meaning. So by interacting with the people who have got problem, and definitely in case, if it is marketing, now by interacting with the customers only, you can understand what are all their left out needs and wants. What are all the unmet needs and wants of the customers in the product market, so that you will be able to come out with the product which is really welcomed by the customers. There is no wonder if you come out with an imitative product. By interacting with them, you learn, you get the source of the product from the customers, and similarly, you get the real idea of the problem by interacting well with your subordinates if you are a manager, with your followers if you are a leader, and that's what we are talking about. So for that you employ an iterative, hands-on approach to create innovative solutions. So after understanding the people, their requirement or problem or need, you define the problem. Now you come out with the choices. You apply divergent thinking to come out with or to create many choices. You understand? And followed by you apply convergent thinking to minimize, to filter the number of choices. And the feasible choices which could be practically converted into a product or solution to the problems of the people, and you go for testing the same, might be with the prototype or one actual product which you make, and do the testing of the same with the people who are facing the problem and consider their suggestions. That's going to give you the real innovation or the real solution to the problem of the people concerned. And that's what about the idea behind this. Now this is what about design thinking process. If you look at the picture, you understand there are 5 stages or steps we could see in the process of design thinking. So there are 5 stages which are named as empathize. That's the first and foremost thing. If there is no empathy, there is no design thinking you follow. Make it very simple. So empathize. What is that meaning of empathize given shortly here? Learn about your audience. Learn about your followers. Learn about your subordinates. If you are a marketer, learn about your customers. Make it simple. That's what about empathize. The days have gone when the companies, like when Henry Ford started manufacturing cars, he manufactured only black color car. People suggested him, boss, if you come out with the cars in different colors, there are people, they love to buy cars in different colors. But Henry Ford summarily rejected the idea. The reason, he was unable to manufacture the required quantity of black color cars. And that's the reason why he said, no, if they want to buy black color cars, let them buy. Otherwise, no problem at all. Those days have gone. Now, you should first approach the people for whom you are going to come out with a solution. You approach the beneficiary for your activities. Learn from them. What is the real requirement for them? Why they are not satisfied with existing strategies or products or services and so on. You learn what they exactly face as a problem or what is exactly their requirement, and that's what about the meaning of learn about your audience. Then you move to the next stage. What is that? Define. What's the meaning of define here? Construct point of view based on user needs. Now, based on the needs of the users, you construct the viewpoint, a human-centered viewpoint over here. Then you move your team of design thinking towards the third stage. That's nothing but brainstorm and come up with creative solutions. Here you motivate your team, which involves in the process of design thinking along with you. One node யார் சேர்ந்து இந்த டிசைன் திங்கிங் ப்ராசஸ்ல பயணிக்கிறாங்களோ அவங்க எல்லாரையும் மோட்டிவேட் பண்ணணும். எப்படி மோட்டிவேட் பண்ணணும்? டு கம் அவுட் வித் நியூ சொல்யூஷன்ஸ். புதுசா நிறைய சொல்யூஷன்ஸ், நம்ம புரிஞ்சுக்கிட்ட பிரச்சனைக்கு என்ன மாதிரி சொல்யூஷன்ஸ் கண்டுபிடிக்கலாம். And that's what you are going to do in the third stage, which is named to be ideate. Then the fourth stage, you come out with the prototype. That's a miniature of the solution you have finalized. Miniature. What is that miniature? You would have seen, and especially the students, and for your benefit, I tell you, பெரிய பில்டிங்ஸ் கட்டுறதுக்கு முன்னாடி என்ஜினியர்ஸ் என்ன பண்ணுவாங்கன்னா, யூசிங் தெர்மாகோல் அண்ட் கார்ட்போர்ட்ஸ், அந்த பில்டிங் எப்படி வரும் இன்க்ளூடிங் த கலர் டிசைன் அண்ட் த கலர் ஆஃப் த பில்டிங், அதை ஒரு மினியேச்சர் மாதிரி ஒரு சின்ன இதை உருவாக்குவாங்க. ஒரு ஸ்ட்ரக்சர் உருவாக்கி ஒரு இடத்துல வச்சு, அண்ட் அதை என்ன பண்ணுவாங்க, அந்த பெனிஃபிஷியரிஸுக்கு காமிப்பாங்க. நம்ம உங்களுக்காக கட்ட போற புது பில்டிங் இப்படித்தான் வரப்போகுது, இதுதான் டிசைன். இது மேல இருந்து பார்த்தா இந்த மாதிரி டிசைன் இருக்கும், அந்த இந்த ரைட் ஆங்கிள் இப்படி இருக்கும், லெஃப்ட்ல இப்படி இருக்கும், திஸ் இஸ் கோயிங் டு பி தி கலர், இதெல்லாம் ஃபெசிலிட்டிஸ் இதுல இருக்க போகுது அப்படின்னு அந்த பில்டிங்கினுடைய அவுட்கம் என்ன பண்ணிடுவாங்க, ஒரு மினியேச்சரா ஒரு ஸ்மால் ஃபார்மேட்ல என்ன பண்ணிடுவாங்க, அதை பிரசன்ட் பண்ணுவாங்க. அதை பார்த்துட்டு என்ன பண்ணலாம், the beneficiaries can come out with their ideas, suggestions. What for? To make some changes. If it is okay for them, they will say, we are very happy with the structure. Please construct the house or the building in this particular model. There is no need for any change at all. அப்படின்னு feedback கொடுக்கலாம். Or else, they might come out with some suggestions to make the outcome wonderful or more meaningful, and that's what the real idea behind the prototype and the last one, testing. Testing irada when we take that idea, when we take that prototype to the beneficiaries and ask for their opinion, or after getting their feedback, we again move back to the third stage, the ideate. After collecting the feedback from the beneficiaries, we again activate our team of people of design thinking to come out with modified ideas, or how to incorporate the feedback of the beneficiaries into the structure, into the solution. அந்த மாதிரி. You understand what I say, right? Suppose you come out with a new pen. You are a pen manufacturing company. ஒரு புது பென் தயார் பண்றீங்க. இதை தயார் பண்றதுக்கு முன்னாடி நீங்க என்ன பண்ணிருக்கணும், மார்க்கெட்டுக்கு போயிருக்கணும், இருக்கிற பென்ஸ்லாம் எப்படி பெர்ஃபார்ம் பண்ணுது, என்ன மாடல், யாரெல்லாம் கஸ்டமர்ஸ், who are all the customers, எதற்காக அந்த பென் ஒவ்வொருத்தரும் ஒவ்வொரு வெரைட்டி வாங்குறாங்க. இன்னும் ஒரு சில group of people, they are not satisfied with any of the models of the pens available in the market. ஏன், why they are not satisfied with any of the models of the pens available in the market? What do they really want in a pen அப்படின்னு கண்டுபிடிச்சிட்டு வந்ததா அந்த ஐடியாவை வச்சு தான் நீங்க என்ன பண்றீங்க, you do research and development of a new solution or a product which is going to be a solution for the problems of the people who are not satisfied with any of the existing varieties of pens. அப்ப அந்த people இந்த பென் கொண்டு போறப்ப அப்படிதான் பால் பாயிண்ட் பென் பிறந்தது, அப்படிதான் ஜெல் பென் வந்தது. This is what you have to understand, right? அப்படிதான் பாத்தீங்கன்னா பார்க்கர். See, there were people not satisfied with using pens which are meant for everyone. They wanted to own status or a pride owning a brand like Parker. அதை ஒரு group of people சொல்றாங்க, pen is not something very ordinary or meant for the primary purpose of writing. It should give me status. அப்படின்னு ஒரு group of people சொன்னதுனாலதான் பார்க்கர்னு ஒரு கம்பெனி அந்த ஐடியாவை கேப்சர் பண்ணி பார்க்கர் பென், இட்ஸ் மென்ட் ஃபார் பிசினஸ் எக்ஸிக்யூட்டிவ்ஸ் அப்படின்னு கொண்டு வந்தான். யூ ஷுட் அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்ட். ஸோ எவ்ரி ப்ராடக்ட், ஒவ்வொரு ப்ராடக்ட் உருவாகிறதுக்கு முன்னாடி ஒரு ரீசன் இருக்கு. அந்த ரீசன் யாருக்கிட்ட இருந்து நம்ம கிடைச்சிருக்கோம் ஃப்ரம் த பெனிஃபிஷியரிஸ். யாருக்காக அதை உருவாக்குறோமோ அவங்கள்ட்ட இருந்து கிடைச்சிருக்கோம். ப்ளீஸ் ட்ரை டு அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்ட் வாட் ஐ எம் சேயிங். ஃபைன். ஸோ திஸ் இஸ் வாட் அபவுட் the 5 stages you could see in design thinking process. Let us get into the details. The first one, as I said, empathize. Look, listen and learn. You look at the beneficiaries or the people who have got problem, or whose problems or whose requirements are going to be fulfilled or taken care by you. You look at those people, you listen to them. Because they are the people who face the problem. They can explain their problem in a better way. If you want to just learn by observation or something, it may not work out all the times. Right? Observation could be a best method with people who cannot really communicate. Might be like when you are dealing with mentally retarded people. You understand, right? You can only do observation and understand what sort of problems they come across in their moving from one place to another place, in interacting with others. You understand like that? But with the normal people, if you want to understand their problems, talk to them. Talk to them. Right? And you look at them with the empathy. Right? Listen to them so that you can learn better about their problems. Now have a look at the few points which I have presented here. Learn about your targeted people by getting into their minds. You have to get into the minds of the people who are named to be beneficiaries or your followers. If you want to be a good leader of a political party, what should you do? You understand the minds, the preference of the followers. How they want you to be. You understand, right? You understand them. Then only you can be better positioned in their minds as a good leader. That's what all about. Now, when you do this particular process, what is that you should do? Set aside your assumptions, your own assumptions. Don't try to understand those people in your perspective. Keep yourself away from your self-reference criterion. This is what, and we beautifully say in marketing. When you go to other countries to market your product, do not make an attempt to study the foreign customers in your perspective. Your culture is different from their culture. Only when you understand them, only when you speak in their language, you could be really successful. See, being a customer, you can buy products in any language, but being a marketer, you can sell the product effectively only in the customer's language. Please try to understand this concept. So if you want to understand the beneficiaries for whom you're going to come out with a solution, please understand them in their perspective, not in your perspective, so that you can understand their problems and come out with meaningful solutions. That's what the meaning of that point. Then understanding their motivations and needs means that you can design a solution that they will actually use and appreciate. What is it here? Understanding their motive. You have to really give them a kind of motivation. What for? They should all believe that by way of understanding their problems, you give an idea to them that you're going to come out with the appropriate solution for their problem. They should believe in that. They should tend to have the confidence that you're going to come out with a good solution for their problems, and that is what they should understand through your motivation, right? Then, in simple words, I could say that this particular step facilitates efficient understanding of the people and their problems or needs or requirement. And the second step in design thinking process is what? Define. What is that you define? After you understand the people, now you define the problem. So what problem is your design meant to solve? நீங்க ஒரு ப்ராடக்ட் கொண்டு வர போறீங்கன்னா அது எந்த பிரச்சனையை சால்வ் பண்றதுக்கு அந்த ப்ராடக்ட் கொண்டு வர போறீங்க. அப்ப if you want to come out with a good product to solve the problem, you should really understand the problem. அதான் ரொம்ப முக்கியம். அந்த பிரச்சனைக்குரியவே அந்த பிரச்சனையை எந்த லெவலுக்கு புரிஞ்சிருக்கிறானோ அதை விட பெட்டரா நீங்க புரிஞ்சுக்கிட்டா தான் என்ன பண்ண முடியும், அந்த பிரச்சனைக்குரிய ஒரு சொல்யூஷனை கொண்டு வர முடியும். Do you understand what I mean? Right. Then this is the stage where you clearly define the business need as well, and the needs of those who will use the design, use your designs or solutions. Inga you have to consider the needs of the people followed by the needs of your business as well. You understand, right? You are not doing business, and for charity. If you do it, it's okay. That's a different issue. If your business is a profit-making business or, a business conducted to generate revenue, obviously, you need to consider the business need also, but that should be given second priority. Because what is that, very clearly said in marketing? If you satisfy your customers, definitely profit will follow. If customers are satisfied, perhaps if the customers are delighted with your product or service, what is that? When people are delighted, when your customers are delighted, when your followers are delighted, When you give them more than their expectation. See, you go to buy a product for say 10 rupees. You are expecting the benefits valued only 10 rupees. That's a perceived, value of the benefits. So you are expecting the value of the benefits only for 10 rupees. But after consuming the product, if you understand that the value of the benefits derived from the product is more than 10 rupees, more than your expectation, say it comes to 13 rupees, you are a delighted customer. You volunteer to say good about the product because it has given you more than what you expected. And that's what the leaders should also do. If the leaders delight their subordinates, their followers, obviously they will rotate around the leaders and they will become like brand slave or loyal to the boss or the leaders forever and ever. And that's what about the idea behind this particular point. So conduct appropriate activities and exercises to clearly define the problem. So now whatever the activity is required, you conduct what for? To clearly define what is the problem being faced by the beneficiaries group. And you move to the third stage now, ideate. What is that? Finding and selecting ideas. Involved in brainstorming or other exercises or activities among your team of people which involve in design thinking. And come out with many choices, as many choices as possible too. Choices what I refer here, the possible solutions to solve the problem. Please do not say no to any idea contributed by any member of the design thinking. Let them come out with many solutions. You would have seen in number of meetings, the participants of the meeting do not value the idea. They consider an idea looking at the source of the idea. Have you seen? யாரு அந்த சொல்யூஷனை சொன்னவங்க பெரிய ஆளா, அப்ப அது நல்ல ஐடியா. சொன்னவங்க ரொம்ப சின்ன ஆளா அந்த மீட்டிங் அட்டெண்ட் பண்றதுல, அப்ப அது ஐடியா சரியில்லை. This is how people try to value the ideas. Weigh the ideas, whether they are good ideas or bad ideas. This is a starting for an organization to go down. It will fail miserably in its venture. If your organization wants to become a successful organization, you look at the value of the idea. Let the source be anyone. Don't say no to any ideas. Let the ideas overflow. No problem at all. You bring out many ideas, motivate people to come out with the possible ideas. And that's why I clearly say, apply divergent thinking to create choices. Let the ideas be thousands also, no issue at all. Get the ideas from all the people, right? And then go for evaluating the ideas. When you want to filter and bring down the number to 5 or 6 or 10 or and a few numbers, you apply convergent thinking. And that's what about the idea behind ideate. And the fourth stage in the process of design thinking is prototype. As I said, prototype is nothing but a miniature. You come out with a miniature or model of the few solutions or choices which you've chosen as appropriate solutions for the problems of your followers or customers, and develop or convert such ideas into meaningful products, right? Such products are to be taken over to, or such models. The models, you see here, when I say prototype, for some of the solutions, you cannot really come out with a real prototype. It could be a costly affair. So what you could do, you can make use of the technology to come out with the virtual prototype also. The virtual prototype or the actual prototype physically made could be taken over to the next stage. That's nothing but testing. Now you get the beneficiaries exposed to the prototypes what you brought out as solution for their problems. So அவங்களுடைய பிரச்சனை, எந்த பிரச்சனையை நம்ம சால்வ் பண்ண நம்ம முயற்சி பண்ணிக்கிட்டு இருக்கோமோ அந்த பிரச்சனைக்கு நம்ம கண்டுபிடிச்சிருக்க சொல்யூஷன்ஸை, அதனுடைய மாடல்ஸை, இப்போ என்ன பண்றோம், நான் சொன்னேன் இல்லையா, when the engineers want to construct a bigger building, ரைட்? அப்ப அவங்க என்ன பண்றாங்க, ஒரு மினியேச்சர் ஒன்னு டிசைன் பண்றாங்க. அந்த மினியேச்சரை முதல்ல காமிச்சிட்டு அவங்க அந்த பெனிஃபிஷியரிஸ்னுடைய ஃபீட்பேக்கை வாங்கிட்டு அதுக்கு பிறகு என்ன பண்றாங்க, they do alteration whatever required and finalize the real model of the building. அதுதான் நம்ம என்ன பண்ண போறோம், we are going to do in the fifth stage, which is called testing. And now let's move to the next one. It's about the principles of design thinking. When carrying out design thinking process, the following principles must be observed quasi the 10 commandments of design thinking. The first one, leave titles at the door. See, when you want to convene a meeting of design thinking to come out with a solution for a problem, what you should do, you leave your title at the door. Don't bring the title, your title, into the room or into the discussion room of the design thinking. ஒரு பிரச்சனையை பத்தி முடிவெடுக்க போறப்ப அதை புரிஞ்சுக்கிறப்ப அந்த பிரச்சனைக்குரிய பீப்புளை புரிஞ்சுக்கணும் நம்ம முயற்சி பண்றப்ப இல்ல அதுக்குரிய சொல்யூஷன்ஸ் அந்த சாய்ஸஸ் நிறைய நம்ம டீம் மெம்பர்ஸ்ல இருந்து ஜெனரேட் பண்ணணும் அப்படின்ற ஐடியா இருக்கிறப்ப நம்ம ஃபர்ஸ்ட் என்ன பண்ணணும், நான் பாஸ், நான் மேனேஜர், நான் லீடர், இந்த டைட்டிலா வெளியில வச்சுட்டு யூ ஷுட் என்டர் இன்டு தி டிஸ்கஷன் போர்ட் as an ordinary member. அந்த ஃபீலிங்கை நீங்க என்ன பண்ணணும், you have to give to all other participants in the design thinking process. You understand? That's what very very important. அப்படி இருந்தா தான் அவங்க என்ன நினைப்பாங்க, என்ன பண்ணுவாங்க, the participants will actively participate. You understand, right? They will actively participate and share their ideas, right? Thinking that their ideas will be considered by everyone here. And everyone here, it would be valued by everyone here. And the feeling you should give to all the participants. For that, what should you do? Leave the titles of everyone, the professional titles of everyone outside the discussion room. And the second one is about encourage wild ideas. Don't stop any idea in the beginning itself. Do not say you don't know anything. You always come out with the silly ideas. Don't discourage anyone passing this sort of comments. And let the ideas be wild also. Let your imagination run wild. You encourage your thinking or imagination to go out of the way as well. Out of the way in the sense, and breaking the routine. You don't go out of the box. See, all your ideas should be related to the problem what we are, what we have taken up. And that's very important. என்ன பிரச்சனையை நம்ம சால்வ் பண்ண நினைக்கிறோமோ அதுக்கு உண்டான சாய்ஸஸ் தான் நம்ம சொல்லணுமே ஒழிய சிலவங்க என்ன பண்ணுவாங்க, அவுட் ஆஃப் த வேலயே போயிடுவாங்க. அவுட் ஆஃப் த வேல they will forget about the purpose for which and we are sitting together. எதற்காக உட்கார்ந்திருக்கோம், என்ன பிரச்சனையை சால்வ் பண்றதை மறந்துட்டு they will go out of the way. அப்படி இருக்க கூடாது. Within the boundary you think innovatively. Let your ideas be even wild also, no problem. Let you come out with a crazy idea also. Every idea should be treated equally in the beginning. The next one, go for quantity. Generate more and more of ideas. You understand, right? And do not look at the creativity behind it or the innovation behind it in the outset. And let the ideas take flow. Let the quantity be the priority in the beginning, not the quality. And the next one is about build on ideas of others. Do not give priority only for your ideas or ideas of the big people. As I said, you weigh every idea. Give importance for the ideas or the choices which are really meaningful or feasible to come out with an appropriate solution for the problem. Build on the ideas. See, when you build on the ideas of others, the people who suggested the ideas, they will really become a brand slave to you. They will become loyal to you. You understand, right? And they will tend to have the high level of motivation that their ideas are considered by the team and especially the boss, the leader. And that's what about the meaning behind it. Then think human-centered in your approach, in your decision-making process, in your discussion process, in the way you are going to come out with the solution. And the way you understand the people, the beneficiaries, definitely approach them with the human-centric value. And that's what about the meaning here. Be visual. What is that? Use drawings, illustrations, photos, videos, and that's what I call as prototypes, so that people can understand what type of solution you are going to come out with. You convert your ideas in meaningful customer terms. So when Sony wanted to launch Walkman, the company sent its research team to the market to conduct a survey to learn whether the potential consumers will prefer to buy such a product if it enters into the market. இப்படி ஒரு ப்ராடக்ட் மார்க்கெட்டுக்கு வந்துச்சுன்னா அந்த கஸ்டமர்ஸ் இதை வாங்குவாங்களா வாங்க மாட்டாங்களா? ஏன்னா அந்த மாதிரி ஒரு ப்ராடக்ட் முன்னாடி இல்ல. ஒரு ஐடியா மாதிரி, மொபைல் போன் வர்றதுக்கு முன்னாடி மொபைல் போன்னா என்ன நமக்கு நிறைய கேள்விகள் இருந்துச்சு. ஏன்னா லேண்ட்லைன் வயர்டுல போனா தான் கால் போகும், இது எப்படி இந்த மாதிரி போகும், அதை எப்படி பேச முடியும், அதை எப்படி எல்லா இடத்துல இருந்து பேச முடியும், இந்த மாதிரி நிறைய கொஸ்டின்ஸ் எல்லாருக்கும் இருந்திருக்கும். அது போல everyone had such a doubt, how it is possible to carry a small instrument. அவங்க என்ன சொல்றாங்கன்னா, போய் இந்த மாதிரி ஒரு சின்ன இன்ஸ்ட்ருமெண்ட் நாங்க கொண்டு வரலாம்னு இருக்கோம், அதை நீங்க பாக்கெட்ல வச்சுக்கலாம், பேட்டரியை வச்சு ப்ளே பண்ணிக்கலாம், அதுல கேசட் போட்டீங்கன்னா நீங்க என்ன பண்ணும், it will play and you can listen to the music wherever you go, so the music will not be disconnected from you அப்படின்னு சொல்றாங்க. It is like, I mean, how Hutch was promoted in the early days, right? And wherever you go, our network follows. அந்த மாதிரி. So when they explained it this way, many respondents summarily rejected the idea. They came back to the company and told the chairperson, boss, many respondents are not interested to buy the product which we would like to bring out அப்படின்னு சொல்றாங்க. But it is the intuition of the chairperson. அதான் big people used to have the intuition. அவர் என்ன பண்றாருன்னா, அவர் சேர்பர்சன்றத மறந்துட்டு ஒரு கஸ்டமரா அப்ப அந்த ப்ராடக்ட்டை பத்தி நினைக்கிறார். ஏன்னா அவருக்கு he knows very clearly how the product is going to be, இப்படிதான் இருக்க போகுது அப்படிங்கிறது அவருக்கு தெரியும். அப்ப அவர் யோசிக்கிறார், நான் ஒரு ஆர்டினரி கன்சியூமரா இருந்தா இந்த அமௌண்ட்டுக்கு இப்படி ஒரு ப்ராடக்ட் மார்க்கெட்டுக்கு வந்துச்சுன்னா வாங்குவனா மாட்டனா அப்படி நினைக்கிறார். When he thought about this, really his mind said, definitely I will go for this product, it would be a wonderful product, I love to buy it as a consumer, not as a chairperson of Sony அப்படினா அவர் இன்ட்யூஷன்ல வெளிப்படுது. So he said, I don't want to accept the findings of the research whatever you people conducted, I am going to launch this product and please listen to me, it is going to be a successful product in the future அப்படினு சொல்லிட்டு he launched a product and the product clicked in the market. Many companies copied the product and they started manufacturing their own models, but the product name is Walkman. Who coined the name of a product in the first? It is Sony company. Sony company da Walkman product name and the name kondu vandavanga. You understand, right? Then avoid criticism. Do not criticize people, whoever attend in the meeting, to come out with a solution. And the next one is about fail early and often. It is good to fail for a few times because that will take you towards grand success. You trust me. தோத்துட்டமே அப்படிங்கிறது கிடையாது. 4 தடவை தோத்தோம்னாலும் 5வது தடவை நமக்கு கிடைக்கிற வெற்றி எப்படி இருக்கும்? Might be a grand success. And that's what here, அதுதான் ரொம்ப ரொம்ப முக்கியம் for a leader, for a boss, who really convenes the design thinking meeting. He should encourage people, don't worry, நீங்க come out with many ideas, you understand, let us try. Even if it fails for the first time, don't worry, I will take the responsibility. And the courage kudukanum, appada people will come out with good ideas. You understand, right? And that's what here I mean. And the next one is what? Stay focused. Stay focused or stay within the boundary of the problem what we are what we have taken up for a discussion or for which we are going to come out with a solution. Adu romba mukkiyam. Do not go out of the way. Then let's have fun. Make it a fun sort of process and then only innovation will be given birth. And that's what my belief over here. Then why is design thinking important for a leader? As organizations become increasingly flat and agile, leaders need to understand how to cultivate a psychologically safe environment or a self-thinking environment. Lead with empathy and think in a user-centered way. See, this is a requirement for today's environment. See, as a leader, you need to cultivate what sort of environment? Psychologically safe environment. Or an environment which encourages people to share their ideas with a courage. You understand, right? Boldly you can come out with your ideas on any issue, whatever, taken up or whatever, being discussed in your organization. So you have to feel very safe and motivated. Then lead the team of people with the empathy. Now, it is a great responsibility of all the leaders to lead their team of people, the followers, with the empathy and think in a user-centered way, in a human-centric way. And that's the reason why we say design thinking is an important approach to be followed by any leader who wants to be successful in his venture. So it offers a good range of practical tools as well as an ideology that links up well with other leadership development approaches. You understand? So here, this approach can be very well linked with any type of leader, and if you really follow this particular strategy in your decision making or in the way to solve problems under your purview, under your authority, obviously you are going to be a successful leader, and that's what beautifully related over here. And the next one, skills for developing a design thinking leader. If you want to emerge as a design thinking leader, you need to have all these skills. Empathy, listen to people the way they want you to listen, not in your own way. System thinking, try to have a collaborative approach. Believe that everyone with different expertise joined together could solve the problem. Believe in that aspect, and that's what you understand from the second one, system thinking. No, it is a teamwork. Believe in that concept. And the next one, do not hesitate to get feedback, and don't hesitate to follow this one. Believe in continuous improvement. I very strongly believe in continuous improvement. You can very well say, I have done my level best. No, you better your best. There is always a scope for improvement. When things are changing, we should also change. We were number one yesterday following a particular strategy, but unfortunately, if you follow the same strategy today, it will take you towards failure. You may not be number one. So keep changing the way you look at things. Keep changing your strategies so that you can very well follow the continuous improvement that will take you towards success. So believe in getting feedback and believe in continuous improvement. And the next one, questioning mindset. Try to inculcate the habit of asking questions among your followers, among your team members. You understand? Encourage them to ask questions, right? Let them ask as many questions as possible, and definitely it is going to be a successful path. And the next one is about collaboration and facilitation. Believe in collaborating with all the people and try to facilitate. And the next one, all your activities should rotate around one important value, that's nothing but the customer centricity, which is here referred to the human centric approach. And then only you can become a very successful design thinking leader. Then coaching. Do not always expect your followers to come to you with their problems. You train them, you coach them to come out with solutions for their problems at their own. You understand, right? And day after day, you need to train or coach them to become independent in the days to come. But obviously, even after becoming independent, they should learn how to become interdependent, and that's an important value. But what I mean here, you coach the followers, you coach your subordinates to think independently, to come out with wonderful solutions at their own in the days to come, and that's how you have to coach them. Fine. And the next one is about change management, and believe that things are changing day by day. You understand? And you should really set the minds of your people to accept the changes that are necessitated due to the forces coming from outside. The forces are uncontrollable. Now let's come to the conclusion. What is that? Design thinking is a way of challenging to innovate, not just to optimize. Try to innovate things, making use of your capabilities, making use of the expertise of the people in your team. Innovation happens when the inspiration comes from the underlying cause. Only when you get inspiration from the underlying cause, the problem, you understand, right? Only when you tend to have a feeling that you will be satisfied if you come out with a solution for a problem, and definitely you will get inspired to come out with meaningful choices and which will become possible solutions for the problems. And that's what here they refer to innovation. The design thinking emphasizes mainly on what? Empathy, collaboration, co-creation, and stakeholder feedback. Only when the people or the beneficiaries accept your solution as a wonderful solution for their problems, it is going to be successful. Or else it's going to be a failure. You understand what I say? So the stakeholder feedback, what for? To unlock creativity. You understand? So everyone should get the opportunity to unlock creativity. Do not lock the creativity and innovation from the sources concerned. So which eventually devises feasible, technologically feasible and viable big idea or big solution to the problems. So the main tenet of design thinking is empathy for people you are trying to design for. A great leadership is exactly the same thing. What is that? Building empathy for people that you are interested to help. So finally, yet importantly, I would say one who wants to be a design thinking leader should start with the empathy to looking for a solution from the source of the problem. You understand? So the real idea behind design thinking is what? The solution for a problem is there in the problem itself, in the source of the problem itself, and that's what the idea behind it. And have divergent thinking in creating choices to solve the problem, but have convergent thinking in making choices. Thanks for empathic listening. Good luck to all of you. Now the floor is open for questions.
Good afternoon, sir. I have a question over here.
Yeah.
Sir, is there any application or any software tool which is used in design thinking process?
Obviously, there is no software tool and all because it's a human-centered approach. I made it very clear. When you come out with the solution for the problem of the people, you make use of technology. So there is no software primarily meant for design thinking.
So one more question I have.
Yeah.
Is this design thinking is a tool or an approach which is used only in the scenario of having a customized product, or in any problem solving area we can use this design thinking?
Yeah. See, design thinking could be used in any areas, not only in marketing, not only to come out with a product, even in our family scenario also you can make use of design thinking. It could be used in your department, in the college. I hope you understand, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's generally, I think it's a brainstorming session, sir. Brainstorming,
and please understand, yeah, it is one of the way by which we would like to understand the problems of the people or come out with meaningful choices to solve the problem. It is only a technique that is used in design thinking. You understand, right? It's only a technique.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, okay.
Sir, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Sir, I have one question, sir.
Yeah.
Can you tell me the scope of design thinking, where we can apply it only for problem solving or leadership development?
We have taken up a topic for today's webinar as how design thinking is going to make leaders very successful. That's what I explained. It doesn't mean that it could be restricted only to the development of leadership. Design thinking could be applied in any scenario among your personal circle, official circle. This is an approach.
Sir,
Yeah.
my name is M. Yashwant Kumar from 2nd BCom B General.
Very good. Okay.
So in recent times, I have saw many leaders whose thinking was somewhat very different. I admire a great leader named Mahendra Singh Dhoni, whose thinking and leadership was extremely very good. You say many concepts in design thinking. How we relate those concepts with MS Dhoni's leadership skills, sir? Could you please explain it?
Yeah. From my understanding, over the personality or the way he conducted the team, and I can very well say, even unknowingly, Mr. Dhoni was following design thinking. That's what, really true. The way by which he consult his team members consult பண்றது, guidance கொடுக்கிறது, யாராவது ஐடியா கொடுத்தாங்கன்னா அதை மோட்டிவேட் பண்ணி அதை ரிசீவ் பண்றது, அதை டிஸ்கரேஜ் பண்றதே கிடையாது. Do what I say அப்படின்னு சொல்றது கிடையாது. You understand, right? As a leader, he would have encouraged his teammates to might be consider his idea, not to strictly follow the idea. சிலர் சொல்லுவாங்க பாத்தியா, நான் தான் பாஸ், நான் சொல்றது நீ கேளு. ஒருவேளை தோனி என்ன பண்ணிருக்கலாம், this is a better strategy I feel. What is that you think? ஆமா, இது நானும் ஃபீல் பண்றேன், நல்லா இருக்குன்னு நினைக்கிறேன், இப்படி பவுல் பண்ணோம்னா நம்ம ஜெயிக்கலாம் ப்ராபபிளி. அந்த மாதிரி அந்த அப்ரோச் கூட என்னதான், he would have partially adopted design thinking. That's what I understand. அவர் கூலா இருக்கிறனால தான் மற்றவங்க பேச முடியும். You understand, right? எப்பயும் டென்ஷனே ஆகிட்டு இருந்தா என்ன பண்ணுவாங்க மற்றவங்க, they will not disclose. அவன்கிட்ட ஏதாவது சொன்னோம்னா அவர் கோவப்படுவார், he will yell at us, so better let us keep quiet ன்னு போயிடுவாங்க. You understand what I say, right? Yeah. Thanks for the question.
Thanks a lot, sir.
No.
From 8-6, I'm a huge MS fan, and some of your thoughts really inspired us, sir. One quote I want to share with you. It was told by MS Dhoni. Leadership is the capacity to translate vision into reality. Thank you, sir.
Very good, very good. Thank you, thank you. And I thank all the participants from the bottom of my heart.
Gratitude is a quality similar to electricity. It must be produced and discharged and used up in order to exist at all. A very good afternoon to all. It gives me immense pleasure to post the vote of thanks for the event to all the dignitaries assembled. I would like to thank our chief guest, Dr. J.J. Saundarraj, who honored this webinar with his inspirational thoughts. I would like to thank our beloved Secretary, Father Philip Pulipra, Principal Dr. M. Savarajan, Vice Principal Miss V. Savitri, Shift 1, and Vice Principal of Shift 2, Ms. Subhashni. Head of the department, Ms. P. Lavanya Devi, all the staff members and students. All the students and staff of our department have an equal effort behind the success of our department webinar because only by working together. It's a secret of our department's success and our college gets succeed. I would like to thank all the participants, volunteers, and last but not the least, our beloved audience for making this webinar a grand success. Once again, I thank one and all present here. Thank you.